Guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we are going to have one mock interview with one of the candidate. Her name is Priya and she is having really good CV, and she has done testing in manual testing and automation testing using Java, Selenium and TestNG. So she is having 3 years of experience. She is based in Pune. So let's start the interview. So let's start now.
Okay.
Yeah, hello Priya. So,
Yeah, hi.
can you tell me how many years of experience you have
I
in
have
automation testing?
so I have 3 years of experience. So it is basically in both like manual testing and as well as in automation testing. 50 like I was working 50/50 in the 3 years. So yeah, I have 3 years of experience in automation testing.
Okay, can you tell me something about yourself, about the projects and the roles and responsibilities that you are having?
Yeah. So okay, so my name is Priya Jain. I have been working in the IT industry from past 3 years. I started as a manual as well as automation tester after the training which was conducted in the company, and then I have been working on automation testing where I was using a framework like I was using Maven along with where I was using Selenium with Java. Then I was using TestNG as well. Yeah, I've used SQL as well for database testing also, and then I've also conducted manual testing also. Yeah.
Okay, and you were working as a single resource, right?
Not as a single resource. I mean, there was a team along with me.
Okay, and so the automation framework that you worked on, was it from scratch, or you were just like started working on the already built framework?
It was partially built, and I had to add some of the features also.
What kind of features?
Like so like you can say like they were not using database testing previously, so I added that part in it.
Okay, so you added and configured the database to automate some of your test cases, right?
Test cases, yeah.
Okay. So as I can see from your resume, you have worked on TestNG, Maven, Selenium with Java, right?
Yeah.
And for test report, extend for reporting, you have used extend report, and for logging, log4j.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Can you just tell me like why we are using extend reports?
Because of the UI, like the support which it provides. I mean, gives a nice UI. I mean, you can get what we say failed as well as past test cases like properly, and along with it you can also get the like if you have added some tag so then we can also get the test case results based on tag as well, so it gives a nice UI.
Okay, so you mean to say that for from extend reports, we are generating reports which are capturing all the past test cases, failed test cases, right? And also
Mhm.
for logging purpose, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So can you just share your screen?
Yeah. Just a minute.
You know how to create XPath, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Is it visible?
Not yet. Yeah, I can see it. Fine.
Okay.
Can you just search maybe corona cases in India?
Yes.
And maybe you just select did you mean and remove that. Just select No. Okay, don't do anything. Just go at the bottom of the page,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see all these text. Maybe you can just go little bit up, more up. Yeah. Can you select this last article? Like, can you create an XPath for this link?
Okay, like I have to select this link.
Yes.
Okay.
Once you open the, yeah, go ahead.
Like I should I open it, or like
No,
I
just
should create a XPath?
yeah, just create an XPath. So once we are opening it in the Chrome, yeah, inspect, there will be option that okay, correct XPath is created. So I just want to see how you are creating.
Okay. Okay, just a minute.
Yeah, try it. Take your own time. So there are 8 matching nodes, right? So you need to select and make it unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you need any help, you can just let me know.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
I will give you a hint. Can you just try picking up the text
Yeah.
and creating from the text?
Yeah.
Actually, there are still, I'm not able to see. Okay, one of one.
This is one showing one result only.
Yeah, so can you just tap on that arrow? I just want to go through. Yeah, fine. Okay, so now you can just uh, stop sharing your screen.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So now, can you just tell me, like, have you created any kind of abstraction within your framework? Can you just brief me about it?
Yeah. So like the web driver which I was using.
Mhm.
So the web driver which is there, that is an interface only. So like we are creating an instance of it, and we are using it. So like we are implementing the methods which are available in that. So like there are methods like quit, close in it, so we are using that. So we are not exposing the functionality which is there of that, but we are just directly using the method which is there. So like there is quit, close, so we do use that. So in that way we implement abstraction in it.
Okay, so do you know the difference between abstract class and interface?
Yeah, so okay, so what happens in an abstract class, we can achieve 0 to 100% abstraction, but in interface we can achieve 100% abstraction. In abstraction what happens is like if we want to like just define a class, we don't want to like declare it, so
Mm,
we just define it. And when we define it, so we need to declare the class which is there as abstract, then only like we can continue. And in interface we just like just declare the abstract method which is there. We can't provide any kind of implementation in that. So we do that. And if we want to provide implementation also in abstract class, we can do that.
mm.
And in abstract class it is not necessary that all the methods which are present should be abstract only. They can be non-abstract as well, like they can be static, non-static, anything like that. uh, yeah. And if we want to like implement the methods which we have added in interface, or um, if we have added the if we want to implement the methods which are present in abstract class, we'll be creating another class which extends the abstract class, and then we need to provide implementation for all the methods which are there in the abstract class.
Okay, can you just tell me like if I want to create an abstract class or maybe I want to create an implement class, what are the keywords that we are using to create these things?
Okay, abstract class. So what we'll do for abstract class is like we'll be using abstract keyword before the class, like abstract class, and whatever the name of your class is. And when we are using method, so it will be like suppose let's say I have a class called uh, void priya, so it will be abstract void priya.
Okay, so abstract class has abstract method. You okay?
Abstract class has abstract methods as well as non-abstract methods as well.
Fine, fine. And
Yeah,
what about interface? How we are creating interfaces?
we add a interface keyword in front of that, like interface class, and we define the name.
No, no. Can you
Okay.
try again? Yeah, it's not technically correct. Like how you
Oh, okay.
about abstract class can be done via abstract keywords. How we are doing it with interface?
Okay, so like you want me to define like how we define interface first, right?
Yeah, how we define it in interface.
Okay, so we'll add interface and then the name of the interface which we want.
Once we are extending the abstract class, right? How we are,
Uh-huh.
and once we are implementing the interface, how we are doing that?
Okay, okay, okay. I understand. So what we'll do is there will be some class, let's say class example one.
Example one, fine, right?
Class example one, we have abstract class which where we need to define all the methods of those that abstract class. So we'll be using extend and the name of that abstract class, and then we also want to implement the interface. So we'll be using implements that interface name.
Fine, fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
fine. If I say that I want to extend two or three class, is it possible?
Extend two or three classes, no,
Yeah.
that's not possible, because the um we can't achieve like multiple inheritance like this way, so
Right.
that's not possible.
So if I want to do something like this, how I can do that?
Like you can do it via interface.
Fine, fine, fine. So can you just tell me like what are the synchronization methods in Selenium?
Synchronization methods, you mean to say weights?
Yes, right.
Yeah. Yeah, so like we have.
Synchronization techniques that we are having.
Okay, so we have three types of weights available in Selenium. So, so it's implicit weight, explicit weight, and we have fluent weight. So in implicit weight, what happens is like there's some Ajax or JavaScript present in our web page. So it will take a certain amount of time for a page to get loaded, and and if we don't wait for that particular amount of time, it will throw an exception. So we want our script to get that element and then proceed ahead. So what we'll do is like we'll define implicit wait for that. So that will be like the syntax would be like driver dot manage dot window driver dot manage dot timeout dot implicitly wait the what do you say, the 10, then
Time period, and
yeah,
then
time unit dot seconds or hours in whatever we wanted. So what will happen is like when we define this, so our driver which is there, it will check whether the web check for that web element. If that web element is like not present, then it will check the time which it has to wait. Like if suppose I have defined 10 seconds, so maximum amount of time it should wait for is like 10 seconds, and if it finds before that, then it will proceed ahead with it.
fine. And then what is explicit wait?
Explicit wait, it does not wait for each and every element. It waits for a certain condition only. Like let's say I want to check whether the web page which I am in, in that whether an alert is present or not. So it will just check whether that alert is present or not for a certain amount of time. If it is not present, then it will move ahead.
So is it like we can apply explicit wait only the presence of element, or there are other options, conditions?
There are many options available, like for presence of element as well, for alert present or not. Then like there are multiple scenarios which are there which we can use.
Can you name
Yeah
one more scenarios?
uh, uh, Visible element,
Uh-huh.
uh,
Uh-huh.
then uh, title is present. uh, Actually there are multiple.
Okay, fine, fine. No worries, no worries. So there is one thing which I think you should add in your answer is like implicit wait is attached to the driver. So
Oh,
this is,
okay.
yeah, this is important point because uh, it is attached to the whole driver session, and it will wait for each and every element if it is not visible until that period of time. Let's say for example we have given 10 seconds. So
Mm-hmm.
this will show that okay, you have like technical knowledge in the architecture of Selenium, how it is working. Or yeah, so this is like you just need to add this thing that driver for implicit wait we are adding to the whole driver session, and
Mm-hmm.
for implicit explicit wait you are correct. Okay, but try to memorize few, three, four more three
Yeah, I'll do that.
and fine. Okay, can you tell me like what is ArrayList? You have
Oh,
worked with collections or not?
sorry, what?
You have worked.
Yeah, I worked on collections. Yeah. So yeah, so ArrayList, what happens is like in ArrayList we don't have a limitation. I mean, in array as we have limitation, like let's say like we have a certain size defined. So in ArrayList we don't have that limitation. Like we can add how much ever elements we want. The size is dynamic.
Okay, can you just create an array list for me?
Yeah.
Just name it
Uh,
and create an array list.
should I share in chat?
I think that should be fine. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can create it in the chat.
This is the way we'll define array list, and then if we want to add something into it, then we'll do array dot add. And
What if I want to create a string type array list?
yeah, you can do that. Just change this the where I have added integer, just change it to string, and we can do that.
Okay. You were adding something in this array list, right?
Yeah, so like if I want to add something, like I want to add 12, so I can do that. And yeah, array lists are also ordered. I mean, the way in which I am adding elements, I'll get the elements in that manner only.
Okay.
Yeah. In this manner only, like we can add elements in it.
Okay. So can you do one more thing? Say for
Yeah.
example, I have taken all the elements in an array list, and
Mm-hmm.
I want to click on any element with a specific text. Can you do that?
Okay.
Write a program to, I mean, just pseudo code for
Mm-hmm.
element in an array list. I want to click on that element.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
once we are able to find that element, just come out of the loop.
Okay. Mm. So let's say my array list is containing these keywords, Priya dot this. Then what I'll be doing is uh, list. Okay. So what I'll be doing is I'll be running a for loop where um, I'll have to define it. I'm actually missing out on something like this. Actually, that is a bit wrong. The break should be in the braces.
Right, right, right. Okay. So equals and why not contains?
Equals for string, for the string part which is there, we use equals, and contains we use it in. What I have done so far is like I've used contains in hash map.
In hash map.
Yeah.
So you are sure we don't have contains method in our string method, string object? Okay, let's do one exercise. Can you open any online Java Java IDE? And what you need to do, just give one string, maybe my name is Priya, and try to take out your name. I mean, try to validate if Priya is present in that particular string or not.
Okay. Uh, like what do I? Sorry, what do I need to do?
One thing, go on any Java online IDE.
Okay.
So you can just go through this concept once again, like how these things are working.
Yeah. I can't do like this.
Okay, try with string. Try with your method, and maybe then try with both string and yeah. So what you need to do, there is one string. My name is Priya.
Mm-hmm.
String equals double quotes. My name is Priya. Hmm.
Yeah, then?
Now you just need to figure it out if the word Priya is in the string or not.
Okay, okay.
Do it by any method. I don't care. Just
Yeah.
like find out if Priya is there or not. Okay, just do one more thing.
Yeah.
Try to figure it out if the string is having contains method and if it is there and it is working fine. Try to write the logic for that thing.
Okay.
Just try.
Okay, just
So no, not like this. No, it won't work like this. Just delete everything from line 13. Okay, so I think this will also be removed. I think this will be not there. Okay, it will be there, right? One.
yeah.
Okay. Now here, what you can do, write system.out.println,
Okay.
and here you try name dot and just try to pass the, yeah, not try to run it.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, it is there, right? So how this is how you can just check if any particular word is there or not, and maybe you can just
Mm-hmm.
do all these string methods, especially string methods. You can go through it because they are already available and you can utilize them in creating your own program.
Yeah.
The way you are going and creating the logic, it's very good. I mean, it should be
Okay.
done that way, but in order to avoid some time, okay, if you aren't sure, just try to utilize the built-in method. And if the interviewer is asking that, okay, I don't need any built-in method, I need a specific logic, then do that way. But I think this is the best approach what you are doing right now. I like that. Okay,
Okay.
so can you just write one more program to reverse a number,
Okay.
or maybe just write a program to validate if any string is palindrome or not?
Okay. Okay. String is palindrome or not? Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay, what I'll do over here is
Can you tell me how this line is working, particularly go up?
sorry.
You can go up.
Yeah,
How this line is working now? Line number,
this one.
yeah, line number 16. How it is working?
Okay, so what is happening over here is like the first keyword which is there. So name at character at I, which means M. Okay, then name dot character at length minus I minus one. So which is this M. Okay, so this is comparing M M. Okay,
Okay.
and in a similar fashion, like it is happening for like the next ones. Like if I is equal to one, so A is pointing to one. Sorry, I is pointing to one. This name dot character at I, this is pointing to this one, and then this one is, it is pointing to this one,
Mm-hmm.
and then it comes to here, and then this points to like both points to the same one.
Mm-hmm.
So in this what happens is like I don't need to store it like I don't need to like store it anywhere else. I mean I don't need to use another keyword, so in this way I can reduce my space.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me the difference between string pool? Like, what is string pool and how we can
St-
create that? Yeah.
yeah, so what happens is like the string which we are using, like the string name equal to madam. So this the keyword which is there, this will be stored in string pool.
Mm-hmm.
And
So if I am creating two string name and name one, and
Mhm.
they are having similar words, so how it is going to store the string literals?
Okay.
Just remove everything and let there be string name
Okay.
and string name one, and it is having the same value. Yeah. So what is happening right now? No, that is fine. Conceptually, what is happening? Can you just tell me? Is it like creating two different variables, or it is how it is working?
Um,
So you know what is string mutable and string immutable?
yeah, I know that. So in string mutable, what happens is like you can change the value of that keyword. So like if in this case the string which is there, it is immutable, you can't change the value once you assign it. And in string buffer and everything, you can change the value. Okay.
So why it is
Uh,
happening? I think you were talking about the string pool last time and something like that. So can you just recall those things? What was?
So what happens is like the name this which is there, this gets stored in string pool. Okay. In string pool. And what is the concept of immutability is like this is immutable because the string which is there, it is shared across like many locations. I mean like there are many files which will be using this keyword. So in order to avoid the
Okay, so let it make it simple. Right now, this in the string pool we are having one variable, one value madam, and that madam is shared across two different variables which are pointing to the same value. this is like it is not creating any additional, it is not creating any additional memory, it is not taking any additional memory. But if we are creating with any other method, do you know how to create different ways of creating string? Can you just create one more string without using string object, string class? Mm-hmm.
And then you can also perform like various operations on this, like
What is coming? What is happening?
both are giving the same thing.
If we are creating any string madam with name variable and name one variable, it is using from the same string pool. But if we are
Hmm.
using string builder, what it will do, it will try to uh, work on that string, right? So this is like basic core concept and how we are
Okay.
creating. And there is one more way, I don't remember the third way of creating.
String buffer.
String buffer, right? String buffer, with that also we can create the string. And I think string buffer or string builder, one of them is thread safe.
String buffer is thread safe because
Thread,
that is slow, so we use
yeah.
string builder most of the times.
Okay. Okay, can you just write a program to take out even and odd number?
Yeah.
Okay, if you write 100, then it will work.
Sorry, 100.
Yeah, yeah. So just try to add some test cases once you are writing program to show that, to show the interviewer, okay, now this dot for odd it is working, for okay, let's try for even also whether it's working or not, something like that. So you have written in your resume that you have worked on TestNG also, right? You can just turn off your screen sharing.
Yep.
Can you just tell me what is TestNG and why we are using TestNG?
We use testng because it supports various kind of methods, we have dependency methods, which are dependency method which is there, so we get support of that, so we prefer that. And yeah, there are various methods which are not available in it was not available in the previous framework, previous yeah, so like JUnit which was there, it used to not support many of the methods which are there, so that is the reason we prefer testng now.
Okay, but what is the core concept of using TestNG? Why we are using TestNG? That is fine. I mean, JUnit was not good enough. We moved to TestNG. Okay, if I can reframe the whole question again, why we are using JUnit and TestNG? What is the particular use of those things?
So okay, so like both give us reporting capability, uh, and the thing is testng which is there, it is it supports like various functions which are not supported in JUnit, so this is one of the reason. And then it we can also run test cases which are there in parallel using TestNG. We can't do it using JUnit.
Actually, you are right. It's a kind of test runner like JUnit or maybe Mocha or maybe Jest. So we are using it to run our test cases, any kind of test cases, unit test cases or functional test cases. You just tell me what is depends on method?
Yeah. So okay. So what happens is like suppose I've defined a test case, and then I want that test case to get executed only if the test case which is there before it gets executed. Like let's say I have something on home page. Let's say I have a home page title which I need to validate. So before reaching home page, I need to first log in into the application. Unless and until I don't do that, I can't reach on home page. So what depends on tag will do, like it will first check whether that whether this what do we say, the depends on method which we have defined, that has run, yeah, if that has run properly, then only this will execute it, otherwise this will get skipped.
So you mean to say before the execution of any dependent method, it will
Hmm.
execute the dependent method, it will pass that, and then it will move to the next method to execute,
Yeah.
right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what if I want to say I want to define the priority? Is there any concept of defining priority of the test cases?
Yeah, it is there. So like priority over here, what happens is like the lower the number, higher lower the number, the priority, I mean see if the priority is like 0, 0 minus 1, so that is given preference first, and then the later on the numbers like 1 2.
Okay.
So
For example, I haven't given any priority in all the five test cases test method that I have written, and now I am running the test cases. In that situation, how it is going to run? Can you
it
just
will it will run alphabetically.
alphabetically how? Ascending order, descending order,
Alphabetically ascending order.
ascending order. Okay. And you have worked on passing parameters
Yeah.
TestNG. How we are doing that?
So there's a XML file in testng, which
Mhm.
is which is the common name, which is the testng.xml. Over there, what we do is parameter. We define a parameter tag, so it will be containing name and the value. Let's say I want to use a browser name as Chrome. So what we'll be doing as we'll be defining a parameter tag, and then we'll give name. So name will be, let's say, browser, and then the value will be Chrome. And then what we'll be doing is in our test case which is there, we'll be using @parameters tag, and we'll be adding the value there, like browser.
Okay, so what if any of the value is not there in the XML? Then how we are going to handle this situation? Say for example,
Okay.
you have passed as a parameter, but in TestNG XML either it is wrong or it is not there. So how you are going to handle that thing?
So what we'll do is uh, we'll be uh, we can define the condition for that. Like if, let's say, if the value is null, then take some value, let's say, I have defined some Chrome, and there's a spelling mistake. Okay, so then what I can do is like I can I'm
Okay,
not actually
yeah,
sure on what we can do on this. Yeah.
you can just go through these like if
Yeah.
any XML value is not defined, we are going to get an error. And if I recall correctly, it's like optional parameters are required. So you can just go
Oh,
and
okay.
do. I'm not sure if it is the same error or not, but yeah, we are going to get some error. So how we can handle that thing? You can just read about it and like try to write a program on that thing. Like okay, how I can handle those things. Okay, one more thing. Say for example, I want to generate reports, right? You have worked on extend reports, and I have one testng xml file. So if I want to capture all the reports for the particular test cases or all the test cases in the same class. How we are going to do that? Can you just brief me out?
Okay, we want reports for the classes. I can't hear you.
Okay, you can hear me now.
Yeah,
So to capture the reports, we are adding some line in the text TestNG XML, right? What is that?
yeah.
You have used extend report, right?
Yeah, I have used extent reports, but actually what happened was it was already implemented, so I didn't have to do much.
Fine. But you must have added new test cases, right? Or you
Yeah.
must have created new class, right? So until and unless we are not writing that, it is not able to record those reports. So if you are aware, you can just tell me. Otherwise, you can just go through this thing like how we are
Yeah.
reports in these things. Fine. Okay. Can you just tell me like if I have executed 15 test cases? So you can just go about reading how we are creating test in XML and how we are capturing reports. My next question is like how we are, say I have executed 15 test cases and two of them are failing. So how I can rerun those failed test cases?
Okay, so what we can do is like in TestNG, it generates a fail.xml report. Okay,
Right.
so yeah, so we can run that.
Right. Any other way like how it is running? I mean that is fine. It is creating testng.xml, but we are adding an interface in that. If you are aware of that thing or not, it's iTest listener.
I test, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
it will, we need to define like if any test case has failed and if we want to rerun that. So like we want to define in how many times we want to run. Say for example, I want to run it for 2 times. So until it is not passing till 2 times, it will keep on trying till 2 times, and then it will just show the failed test cases. So just go through them also, like what is retry mechanism in TestNG. And one question which I would like to ask you is like, say, for example, there are 10 test cases and I want to exclude some test cases. How I can do that?
We can use exclude tag in testng file, testng.xml.
And if I want to include the test cases, then
We'll use include tag.
okay. So include tags, and then we will define what we all we want to include, and exclude tag we will define all what we want to
What?
exclude.
Yeah.
Have you faced any exceptions while you have been working on Selenium? What are exceptions? Can you just tell me about those things?
Yeah, so like I have faced commonly I have faced like no such element exception and timeout exception, which is like very common because no such element exception when the element is not found. Okay,
Any
so
other
I
exception?
mean like timeout exception, usually what happens is like I'm loading the browser, so and the browser is taking a particular amount of time, so particular amount of time, and it also happens like some element which is there that is not found in that particular time. So that also shows like that also gives like no such element except no sorry timeout exception error,
So,
timeout
I
exception.
mean, apart from no element exception and timeout exception, maybe any other exceptions that you have faced, which is very common. Just
Stale
try.
element exception, yeah.
Yeah, stale element exception, like we are facing sometime that we are not able to find the element once it is refreshed or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes. So, can you define the project hierarchy, like the framework hierarchy of your project? How, which technology you are using, which framework you were designing, how it was designed, all these
So
things.
okay, so like we what we were doing was what we were using Maven framework. Okay, so in that like we had test and main. So in test what we were doing is like we were using pom page object model as well. Okay, so in that what happens is like for each web page we have a page class. Okay, so there's a page class, and then there is a test class as well. So we had that thing as well. And then there are certain at certain times, like we have utilities. So in that, what we do is like the we read data from like, let's say we read data from Excel, so we define that as well. Sometimes we read data from properties files also, so we define that also in that. Then there are drivers. Drivers, so in that we can add a drivers, like we can add a Chrome driver, Gecko driver, like whichever driver we want to include that. Okay.
Uh,
And then yeah, so yeah, what I was saying was like we'll have utilities in from which I will be reading data from different data sources, like we'll be having properties file, we'll be having Excel file. So yeah, we'll be reading data from those. Then we'll be having drivers, so where there will be including drivers, I mean the drivers which we are using in our this in our project. And then there are also like if we are using for reporting like testng, so we'll be having testng.xml file. In that will be including all the test cases. And like, so let's say we have defined tags also in our like test cases. So we'll define that as well. So that will actually reduce our time in like adding each and every test case. So yeah, so we have testng.xml. And then for reporting we also have like extend reports, so we add that as well. um uh,
mhm.
I guess this is
So
it.
just explain me the folder directory structure that you are having. Like we
Okay, so
source, main, and test. So what all you used to keep in main and what all you used to keep in test?
okay, what we have done is like in test class which is there. So in test class we have defined certain test cases. Okay, so we'll be adding all the test classes which are there in the test one. um so it will be containing if we are suppose we are using pom. Okay, so there'll be like page objects, and there will be test also. So those will be in test.
There will be pages, there will be test cases, there will be utilities, but how you are creating those architecture layout, that is also very important. So maybe how to explain, because every framework, once we are starting from scratch, it will be very different from maybe whatever you have worked on or whatever you have seen. So this is very important. Like say for example, if I am keeping the listeners in the main, like listeners and the all the other interfaces like retry, and then if I'm trying to call any method which is test into the listener, I cannot do that, right? It is a
Hmm.
failure in my architecture that from the test to main I cannot do that, but from main to test I can do that. So we need to keep care of these things, and maybe whatever framework you have designed, whatever you have worked on, just go through the architecture like how you have designed, and maybe you can just tell them word by word whatever folders you have created, whatever directories you have created. And say for example you, okay, say for example I need to validate that anywhere in the test cases login unsuccessful. So how you are defining that in the test class? Are you creating a constant string and thus just validating that, or you are creating any other third party abstraction, something like that? How you are doing that?
Like I have to check login unsuccessful,
Yeah,
right?
like
So what I'll be doing is like I'll be first like using username password. So if
that is fine. I just want to hear like verify login successful. There is a method verify login successful or login unsuccessful. In login unsuccessful, we are getting an error message which we are storing in a string, right? So you need to tell to the interviewer where you are keeping those variable. I mean, you can just say that you are creating a constant in the test class and getting the text from the failed test cases and validating that. The best approach would be you can say that you are having a JSON file or any XML file where you are keeping all these hard coded strings. And so you understand, like we are abstracting the test data also. So this will show
Yeah.
that okay, whatever framework you have worked on, you have not hard coded all the things, and you are having a clear abstraction of a test data and the expected result, something like that. Okay, so can you just tell me, like, say, for example, what are the different logs level in iTest listener?
Different logs level.
Yeah, we are recording certain logs, right, in iTest listeners. So can you just tell me what is iTest listener? What is listeners?
Okay, so in listeners, what happens is like there are certain methods which are available, and we implement those. So on success, what will happen?
Right,
So
right.
on success, what will happen? On failure, what will happen? So we define those all such things. So in a particular case, like if I want to like capture a screenshot on failure, so I'll be adding that in on failure, like that
Can
we
you
can
tell
do
me the method
those
of
stuff.
those listeners, like what all, like you said pass, you said fail. There are two others, right? Maybe there are more. There
Yeah,
are more.
yeah, there are actually many. I can just recall of two of them. Yeah,
Maybe there is one skip, and there is
yeah, skipped it.
one
Yeah,
info also, right? So these are the four,
yeah.
these are the four major logs you can say, or methods you can say, which is provided by
Mm-hmm.
test listeners and listeners, and we are using to record our test cases in the method which are getting executed. Okay, so one more question which I would like to ask is like, if I am running any test cases, this is a situational based question. Like if I am running any test cases, all the test cases are independent, right? They are running in a separate browser and logging in or these kind of things, blah blah. But what if I say that you need to execute the test cases, like you need to close the driver session only when the test case is failing, otherwise all the test cases will come in a loop. It will
Mm-hmm.
execute one, then second, then third, then fourth. So how you are going to handle that situation, if you are having any idea of this thing? Are you getting my question, right?
Yeah, 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 understood. So okay, so what we can do is like uh okay, I was thinking about assert, but assert we can't use it because if it gets failed, then it skips. I mean, it skips the next steps which are there.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't use assert. So what? So okay. So what I am thinking is like if a test case is failing, so we can like first we can get the message like like there's success. I mean
I will
in the logs.
in this situation we can make use of listener, and
Yeah,
whenever there is a test failure, then only create a driver session or maybe what,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then do all those things. Otherwise just keep on executing the test cases, something like that.
Mhm.
So you can just read about this thing, like how to do any specific thing on test failure, or how to do any specific thing when I want to skip the test cases, something like that. So just read on those things. And do you know what is TestNG group?
Yeah, TestNG group. So what we do is like we define we add a group like there is like at the rate test, and then we do groups equal to we can add like how much ever groups we want. Like let's say I want like smoke. There are certain test cases which should be in smoke only. So I'll be creating a group with the name as smoke. Okay. So then what I can do is like I can add it in whichever test cases I want, and then execute those only test cases if I want to like if suppose I am asked to do smoke testing, so I can execute those test cases only, like the ones which contain smoke keyword.
Yeah, 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 very on.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
So say
that
for
is the way.
so say for example I am executing some test cases, and those test cases are from different groups. So how we are going to manage those things? Say for example, one is for sanity, one is for regression, right? So
Yeah.
cannot write everything in one, right? So is there any way, any how you will handle this thing, or maybe what you are going to do? You are going to create different testng XML file, or you are going to create in everything in one testng XML file, or you are going to create master testng XML file. You getting the question, right? Say
Yeah.
for
I mean,
test cases are marked sanity, some of the test cases are marked regression, some of the test cases are marked both. So how you are going to execute those things?
so what we'll be doing is like we'll be adding groups tag and groups name equal to like I want to suppose, let's say, execute only smoke, so I'll be adding smoke only.
That is fine. Okay, you can just go through them, like how to maintain and run different types of groups, and just go through it. It's a very
Yeah.
basic concept how we are
Yeah.
doing it. And can you tell me what is Maven?
Maven is a is a like it provides a project structure.
Hmm.
Like yeah, it provides a project structure. I mean, yeah, and then it contains pom.xml, which contains all the dependencies which we want to include in a project.
This is the correct answer, that Maven is responsible for managing all our dependencies, which we would have done it manually. It
Hmm.
is doing it for us automatically.
Hmm.
So, you know about SureFire plugin.
Yeah.
So, what is that and how we can utilize that?
So SureFire plugin, which is there, that we don't need to include externally. I mean, whenever we like create a Maven project structure, so it is added by default.
Mhm.
Uh, but I'm not sure of its functionality. I mean, I had used once, but I'm not sure of its functionality.
So, you are saying that SureFire plugin is added automatically?
Yeah.
Okay, you just need to go through this thing once again, and there is one configurable file which we need to add in the pom.xml to activate it. So yeah, so just go through what is SureFire plugin, and if I want to run the test cases from the command line, how we can do that?
There are like certain commands uh, related to Maven, like ambient test we can do, and we can run the commands.
Okay,
We can run the test cases. Sorry. Um, there are even more command line commands, but I have not used them much.
so just go through Maven SureFire plugin, and how we are executing the test cases through command line
Yeah.
will give you a more idea. And have you worked on CI/CD pipeline?
No, I haven't. Not.
So how you were executing your test cases? It was like locally done on the system, or like it was done or done by some infrastructure or DevOps team or infrastructure team.
Yeah, it was done by DevOps team.
So which CI/CD you were using?
So yeah, we were using Jenkins.
Jenkins. In your CV, it's written this thing Azure Cloud, right?
Yeah, so Azure Cloud, which is there, actually, it's actually Azure DevOps. So Azure DevOps we were using for like test management.
For test management. Okay. So actually, you can do one more thing. Either you go and study about Azure DevOps, or just try to change that with Jenkins, because if you are only going to write that it was for test case management, they can raise some eyebrows, like, okay, for test case management, but it is, you know what I'm trying
Yeah,
to.
yeah, I get it. But actually, I am using it for test management in
So
my current project.
or what you can do, like you can just write CI/CD Jenkins and test management tool as an Azure. But
Okay.
I think it should be very easy to create an Azure pipeline with Selenium. You can also try doing some R&D. It's very easy. I think I have just started working in one of my project, and I haven't done that, but I think they are giving some automatic template to create that. So just try and creating that. It should be very easy for you. And one more thing, like, can you just share your screen for some more time?
Is it visible?
Yes, sir. It is. Can you just remove everything and can you just write me some codes like how to log in into the application to verify something that it is already logged in or something like that? Just write any piece of code to show that login is unsuccessful. Just write me in Selenium.
Login is unsuccessful.
Yeah. Write test cases and page objects for login is unsuccessful.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Just remove everything and just write in plain text. Mhm. Can you just start from class? Just remove everything, write a fresh class. Uh,
Sorry.
just remove everything and write it from fresh class. Just remove everything. I mean, from line one also just remove everything. Yeah, now write it from class. Yeah.
You also want like to driver initialization everything?
No, not all those things. Just the core code that you are writing for defining the page objects and page methods, and maybe in some test cases, that's it. Okay, so remember one thing, whenever you are defining any variable, just try to use any type of variable conventions, right? Username, just try to write it as n capital, so it will show that
Oh,
you, yeah, so I mean nothing wrong in doing it like that, but it will show that you are having some good experience and you are used to writing the methods and these things. Yeah, now carry forward. Just take any by name, by id, by Xpath.
just a second.
So you have worked on page factory or not?
Yes, I
Yes, I
have.
have.
Okay. Okay, just write one method to enter name and password or something like that. No need to write forward password and these things. Just write one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So over here, what I'll be doing is first I'll hit the link. So driver.get. So whatever is the link, I'll hit the link, and then what I'll be doing is like I'll get this what is it, get username. So what I'll be doing is driver dot uh, get yeah. So what I'll be doing is I'll be creating an object of this class, like
Just say object is ABC.
yeah. So abc dot get username, and then I'll be doing I've got this element, so I'll be doing send keys.
Fine.
Send keys, and then whatever is the pass username, I'll be adding that. Like if I'm reading it from,
You will be doing for wrong password also, right? Just copy paste
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, same.
okay. Now validate something.
So yeah. So this will be for password as well.
Fine.
Okay, so yeah, this is for password, and then when I hit on submit, so what will happen is like if suppose the credentials are not correct, okay,
Right.
so what I can do is like I can check the title.
Right. Just write that thing. How you are
Yeah.
going to assert that thing. No, say for example, if you are getting some string that unsuccessful login, right? Once you click on submit, you are going to store that string, right? I mean, no
Yeah.
need to verify with the home page. So how you are going to assert that? Say for example, you already have one web element page object for wrong password. Now just assert that thing. I'm not sure if you are like confused. Just let me know. I will just try from
No,
again.
yeah. Can you repeat
Okay,
once more?
just create one string. Say for example, string wrong password equals to and in this just write this is a wrong password. Now you need to validate that once you click on submit button, the string which I am getting is this one. How you are going to
Hmm.
do? Okay, what you can do? Assert.
Assert dot okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Assert dot
Right.
assert 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 true.
Assert equals assert true. You can use. I mean, these are
Uh,
not commonly used, but
yeah,
assert equals. Right. Just try
yeah.
using assert equals actual string expect.
And the yeah.
Hmm. So is it like I was not clear enough or like how? Or you
No,
mean
I just got a bit confused.
okay, fine. Go ahead.
Actual title,
Just it
actual
will be. I mean, you
title.
can no need to create an additional method. Yeah, just and then
Yeah, if then it will check like if this actual and wrong password, like if they are both the same, assert equals will be using over here.
fine.
Yeah.
So what
So
message in this thing, right? You know about that?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. if the if they are not correct, then I can also add a message over here.
Not
The
only
third,
not, even if it is correct, then also you
yeah,
can. Yeah.
yeah. So over here I can add a message like whatever, assert dot assert. If it is equal, then it will show like, yeah, correct. So yeah, the third parameter which will be there, that will be of message.
Okay. Fine. So can you just tell me what is the difference between? I mean, I'm just coming up with a new question. I just remember it. What
No,
is
no,
the
that's okay.
soft assert and assert?
Soft assert and assert. Okay. So yeah. So what happens is like okay. So in assert, what happens is like uh, if suppose, let's say, like, let's take this example only, and if the actual title does not match the like expected title, so what it will do is like it will break, and it won't be executing the next steps which are there. Okay. And in software set, what happens is, even if the this condition is not true, it will go ahead with the execution of the next steps.
Okay. So which is better and which to use when you have any idea about it?
uh, like it depends on the situations, let's say, like, I there's a test case, and in test cases, like what, we wanted to like pass it if the certain condition is true, and like fail if the certain condition is false, so like we can use it in that.
Okay, so the thumb rule is if we are doing some major assertions for major functionality, then we are going to use hard assert. Otherwise, if we are validating some minor functionality with like text, labels, or these kind of things on one page, which is like not much used, then we can use soft assert. So this is like a situational based
Question.
question. Yeah. So you need to just define like if we are using some core functionalities or testing some
Mm-hmm.
functionalities, then we can use hard assert. Otherwise, soft assert is also okay. I think I am done from my side, Priya. So I will just stop this video recording, and maybe you want to ask any questions or something like that about the project or something. Maybe if shall advise or you want to ask anything from the interviewer, you can just ask that also. So just try framing those questions and you can just throw to them also. It's not only like I am done and you are also like okay I am also done. You can try asking some questions so it will show that okay what you are seeking for. So
Mm-hmm.
two three questions like on what technology your team is working on, or maybe how many QAs are working there, what are the I mean the same questions, what are the CI/CD pipeline you guys are using, and it is like the framework we are going to design from scratch, or it's like already developed project, something like that. So you can always ask those questions. So I will just pause this recording for now and then we can discuss more.
Yeah.